Welcome back to another episode of JGTV, where we walk you through our most epic projects. So I'm walking on site of our latest ADU project here in East Sacramento, right next to Sac State. And this is a really cool one because when we were first originally called out, our clients wanted to put an ADU in that back corner over there. But after further investigation, we actually found a much better solution. Check this out. The goal was to build a 400 square foot ADU for our clients' in-laws to come and live in and stay at over the holidays. And we thought instead of having its own independent building, why don't we actually put it in the pre-existing patio structure here in the home? The home is about a century-year-old, and we thought it'd be really cool to preserve some of the original siding, have the new siding to match, keep the old roof, and that actually amounted to some savings for our customers. So we're starting demo and excavation today. So it's really cool. Something that I've personally never seen before are these little 3 rooms here. So since this house is super close to Sac State, it was actually used by students who were rooming together and using these 3 rooms as cubbies or locker rooms. At first I thought maybe they were stables for little tiny horses, but I was proven wrong. And unfortunately, it's all gonna have to go to make room for our ADU. And we're back out here after 2 weeks where we just wrapped up with demolition, excavation, grading, forms, and just now finished pouring foundation. I'm out here with my partner, George, where we're gonna walk through some of the decisions we made into our foundation part of this home edition. George, how are you today?
I'm doing great, and it's an excellent day to pour concrete because it's not too sunny, it's not too hot. And let's go ahead and take a look what we got here.
Yeah, let's take a look. We're gonna let these guys do their thing, but as they're working on it, I did have a few questions that I'm sure we're all curious to know. And one of them is, I noticed that the house is sitting on a raised foundation, but we're pouring a slab foundation. Walk me through a little bit of our decision-making that went into that.
Well, there are a couple things to consider. One, the most important one is cost. It's more cost-effective to pour slab because you don't have to grade, you don't have to build framing, you don't have to insulate it. There are a lot of steps that you bypass just by pouring a slab. And second factor was the height of the ceilings. If we were to build a raised foundation, we'd either have to grade everything away, which is a massive task, or we'd have to keep the height of the ceilings 8 feet. And our homeowners like the fact that we can give them 9-foot ceilings inside their addition.
That's definitely a nice bonus. And as we walk through the project here, you'll notice around the perimeter, a lot of these anchor bolts that are sticking out, which adhere to the bottom plate, really securing that foundation together. But I noticed this one piece of repart that's sticking out a little bit taller than the rest. Tell me a little bit about this.
This is called UFER, and it's not an acronym, it's a last name. And this is the electricity grounding system for the new panel. The way it's done, actually, this is just the top of the iceberg. The requirement for a UFER to effectively dissipate the electricity is to have a rebar running inside of a concrete for 20 feet. And that way, if anything happens, lightning strikes, the electricity has somewhere to go and it's not inside the house.
So it's a really good grounding system.
Very good grounding system. They invented it after World War II, and the guy named UFER actually came up with it, and that's what we're all doing now.
Wow, we're still using World War II technology.
Yes, we are.
Nice. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And as we walk to this side, I'm noticing here that there's a little different slope on this part of the foundation than the rest of it. Tell me a little bit about this section here.
Well, the thinking behind it is that you want to create a grade for the water to escape. You don't want any water to collect and go towards the main house or towards the addition. You want to create a route for water to escape away from the house. And this is why that high point is over there, and we're going to have the water grading down this way.
So now that we're about to be wrapped up with foundation, what are our next steps?
The next step is going to be to start building framing so we can get rid of these beautiful posts and supports. And then once that's done, it's full speed ahead is going to be rough plumbing, rough electrical, HVAC, and all the fun things.
And a million inspections.
And a million inspections.
Which will all pass. So we're a month into our process. We've wrapped with foundation, wrapped with rough framing, and are now moving on to other trades.
Let's take a look.
Let's do it.
Real quick, before we go inside and take a look at all the amazing things we've done, we also want to show you one important step that cannot be missed when you are moving your electrical panel. You want to make sure your panel is installed and inspected before you schedule your smart cutover appointment, because those are 6 weeks out. So now we have that in, and sometime early January, we're going to have the power cutover from one location, move to another.
All right, so you're finally seeing the layout take shape. Bathroom's gonna go over here. We're in the living room now. Kitchenette going on that back wall, and our bedroom and closet are gonna live over here. One thing I noticed are these beams that are sticking up into the roof. I know one of the cool key factors of this design was that we're integrating the existing carport roof into the ADU. But tell me a little bit about what we have going on here, George.
Well, that's a very good question. And yes, the plan was to keep the original roof, but because this roof was very old and it's sagging in a few spots, we decided to give it extra support. So we installed purlins and kickers just to make sure that the roof doesn't collapse or change shape over time.
So this framing decision wasn't necessary per engineering, but we did it to really reinforce that roof structure and make sure that there's no potential problems down the line.
Correct. When we came in here to start working on framing and line things up, we realized that some of the roof is sagging, and what was causing that sag was that purlins that's supposed to hold the roof up don't have any supports below them. And so by adding those kickers, we're able to transfer the load from the roof to the load-bearing wall, and we're going to be good to go for a long time.
Load-bearing walls, one of my favorite phrases in construction. A lot of customers don't really understand what a load-bearing wall is. Could you kind of walk me through what constitutes a load-bearing wall?
Load-bearing wall is very, as it sounds, it's very straightforward. It's a wall that has any kind of load on it. Not to the drywall, but to things above it. So in our case, this is a load-bearing wall because it's holding up the weight of the ceiling structure. And now we've added more weight on it by putting these kickers in. So this wall is, by all purposes, is load bearing. So you cannot just remove this wall because then your ceiling will collapse and the roof will sag.
So I know we're about a month into the project and we've had a few inspections. We've passed all of them. Tell me a little bit about the epoxy bolt installation, because I know it's back here hiding behind this plywood. And I'm wondering, how was it that we were able to pass that inspection with the plywood covering up the bolt?
Well, it's a very good question, Jesse, and that's why we invested into X-ray vision, and we have it on site for all of our inspectors to see so they can see through the OSB. But with jokes aside, it's a shear inspection, but how do you inspect two shear elements that overlap each other? The process is fairly straightforward. You just make sure you take photos that showcase the hold down being installed correctly, and you have a special inspection or the foundation inspection making sure the bolt is in there.
So the way things are moving, George, it's looking like our clients can start cooking breakfast here in about, what, a week or two, you think?
Hilarious, Jesse. No, we got quite a few things we got to accomplish first. And the next step is going to be rough plumbing, rough HVAC, rough electrical. Then we can start talking about anything else happening here.
Very good. Yeah, I'm a little enthusiastic just because I'm already liking the way it looks. Excited to see it all come together.
You want to move in?
I just might. Yeah, I just might. Although I think this will be my bedroom.
I would make this my bedroom too.
Yeah.
Studio.
I like to be near the kitchen.
And that'll be the office. been a few weeks, we got a lot finished, but I'm here to talk to you about siding first. What's so special about this siding? Well, this is redwood 1x12 siding that does not come stock. We had to custom order it in order to match the existing 100-year-old exterior. It was difficult to source, but there's nothing we couldn't overcome. Construction isn't perfect, and this is a great example. This drop is more than allowed for an entry door. So the way we're gonna fix this issue, we're gonna add a step that's gonna meet current code and it's gonna be comfortable to use.
Fast forward a few weeks, we've wrapped up with drywall tape and texture and have poured a lovely new concrete patio. We tied it in with the existing concrete because it's important to think about the surrounding area when you're designing an ADU. What's really great about this is that now they can use this space outside. George, what would you do in this space?
Probably put a nice little table, couple chairs, great picnic area to enjoy the beautiful weather.
Absolutely, yeah, this place really calls for that. Another thing that we solved is we addressed the big step issue. And now this way, nobody's gonna be rolling their ankles or breaking their backs when they're entering their ADU, and they have this lovely new concrete pad to ensure that as they're entering, it's a nice smooth transition. Speaking of which, let's check out the inside. When you're finishing off the interior, it's important to think texture. And we went with an imperfect smooth texture on these walls. George, tell me a little bit about how we were able to achieve that.
Well, one important step is planing and leveling your framing to making sure you have no highs or lows and the walls are not wavy. That's an important step that a lot of people miss or overlook because they do spray on texture. Spray on texture gives you that light reflection and makes it a lot more forgiving than imperfect smooth.
Yeah, imperfect smooth requires a lot more legwork up front, planing and leveling all of the pieces of lumber to ensure that you can't surf these walls and it's nice and level. So we're looking at about 2 more months until this is completely finished. We're gonna be putting in flooring, cabinetry, all the finishing interior touches to really make this property shine. Can't wait to see what it's gonna look like. Fast forward 5 months of meticulous hard work, and we're pleased to announce this ESAC ADU is ready.
So let's take a look at some of the exciting features of this build.
Let's do it. So if you remember from day one, this used to be a decrepit carport that was just not really functional for a client's lifestyle. So a key feature in the design phase was to incorporate the new ADU with the existing home and just make it look like it's always been here. And as you can see, it's a seamless transition, looks really beautiful, because usually when you hear ADU, you think of a standalone structure in the backyard. But this just makes it seem like it's part of the whole entire home.
Another way we made this ADU seamless is we were able to keep the existing roof above the carport and built the whole ADU below it. This approach saved our customers $15,000, and it helped to preserve the aesthetics of the existing building.
So last time we were out here, this wasn't even painted, and as you can see, that white just really adds that seamlessness to the existing structure. But what's the most exciting is on the inside, so let's go take a look at that. So as you can see, we're at our completion stage where everything is in. George, what do you think?
While it's exciting to see this in real life, instead of looking at pixels on the screen, we have all floors done, paint is finished, cabinets are up, bathrooms all ready to go. So we're just about to be done.
Yeah, we're almost there at the finish line, but let me walk you through some of my favorite features of this ADU. The first thing you notice when you walk in is just how much space there actually is.
We got a bedroom, full bathroom, and a kitchenette. and this great living space.
Usually ADUs of this size is typical to see a studio approach, but we were able to fit in a bedroom that can hold a king-size bed, a bathroom that's even bigger than the one in the main house, and a fully functional kitchenette. We have a trash rollout right over here. We have an electric cooktop, a full-size sink, and a fridge with upper cabinets.
Unlike most guest bedrooms, this bedroom can fit a king-size bed. We got a nice spacious closet for our customers, a beautiful window to look out to the backyard, and this bedroom is going to be a great place for whoever stays here.
As mentioned before, the key benefit of this bathroom is that it's actually bigger than the one in the main house. It ties in really nicely with the brown floors, the white shower quartz enclosure, the blue cabinets, and the white countertops. As I've said, usually when you walk into ADUs, you see a lot of white and black motifs, but that little pop of color just makes it feel a little bit homier.
Overall, this project took us 8 months, with 3 months being in pre-construction, 5 months in actual construction. And all in all, this was an easygoing experience for our clients. Jesse, how to make it happen?
Yeah, well, by being a design and build firm, we were able to just guide this entire process from start to finish. We did guided showroom tours, a meticulous material selection process, 3D designs, ensuring 100% satisfaction before any hammers were even swung. Once we entered the construction phase, we ensured our customers received daily notifications. So every single day they were informed who's coming, what's being done, and what's that summary of their progress. If you or someone you know are interested in a Sacramento ADU, make sure to visit us at rosslehomes.com. We look forward to working with you.